Senator Van.
Thank you, President. My question is to Senator McAllister, the Minister representing the Minister for Climate Change and Energy, and I congratulate her on her promotion. Given the proven potential of electric vehicles to provide energy and system security services to the electricity grid using vehicle-to-grid or V2G technology, which was recently demonstrated by the Realising Electric Vehicle-to-Grid Services project run at ANU, is the government taking steps to update and harmonise national grid codes and standards to facilitate the broader adoption of V2G technology?
Thank you, Senator Van. Minister McAllister.
Thank you very much, Senator Van, for that question. And you're right that this is a technology that potentially has great potential, supporting consumers in meeting the energy needs in their own households, but also, if done well, supporting our broader requirement to have a grid that is reliable and can respond flexibly to changes in demand across that grid. Minister Bowen sometimes refers to electric vehicles, in fact, as batteries on wheels. And it's on that basis that the government is taking the steps that we are taking generally in relation to electric vehicles and specifically in relation to the national standards that are required to make sure that this technology is integrated and integrated well. You'll know that we had an extended public discussion about standards for new vehicles and encouraging a greater number of models and a greater choice for consumers in relation to vehicles. And that applied, of course, to more efficient petrol vehicles, but also to the importation of a wider range of electric vehicles, including vehicles that are at a price point that will be attractive to the broadest range of consumers. But you speak specifically of the issues in relation to the grid, and it is a matter that the energy ministers have paid a great deal of attention to. So energy ministers, in fact, at their last meeting, initiated a process, adopted a roadmap which sets out a series of pieces of work that the energy ministers agreed to undertake together to establish the relevant standards for electric vehicles. Minister Bowen has been clear that he would like to see some progress on some of those matters over the course of this year, but we understand that this is a technology where we have time to prepare.
Thank you, Minister. Senator Van, first supplementary.
Thank you, Minister. Given AEMO has not even included the capability in their ISP to any great extent, and there is billions of dollars being prioritised for strengthening the grid and gold-plating it, some would say. Given the growth of EVs and the evolving landscape of energy technology, is the government considering revising its market projections and energy policies to better reflect the potential contributions that EVs with V2G technology could make?
Thank you, Senator Van. Minister McAllister.
Thanks very much, Senator Van. And you're right to make the point that the technology potentially could have a real impact on the projections for both demand and supply in the national electricity market. We are at a point in time where the technologies that are available to us are actually evolving and changing, and it's for that reason that AEMO not only regularly updates their projections and upgrades the Integrated Systems Plan, but makes sure that when it does that, it engages very closely with a range of stakeholders to make sure that the assumptions that they're using and that the inputs that they're obtaining reflect broadly the understanding in the market about the technologies that are on foot and are coming towards us. Right now, we don't have a particularly large number of vehicles with this capacity ready to go in this market, but that could change, and I'm quite certain AEMO will be watching this as they update, as they regularly do their projections.
The time has expired. Senator Van, second supplementary.
Thank you, President. Minister, is the government planning to allocate additional funding or introduce incentives to support research, development and deployment of V2G technology?
Thank you, Senator Van. Minister McAllister. Minister McAllister.
Thanks very much, President, and thanks, Senator Van. Senator Van, as you know, the chief vehicle for providing support for emerging technologies and technology trials is ARENA. And in our last budget, the government substantially replenished ARENA's funds to provide support for a range of technologies, including potentially the technologies that you speak of. We are conscious that this is a world in which Australia is just one participant in a global market where, vehicle manufacturers around the world are thinking about how best to integrate this capacity into the vehicles that they sell. I am quite certain that the reforms we've undertaken to change the shape of the Australian market will see Australians with a much greater opportunity to access some of these vehicles as they come into commercial production globally.
Thank you,